Hi everybody, I'm Ellen Gormley and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making bunnies. So these bunnies are not my idea. These are from Knit Studio, and I'm going to put a little photo here so that you can see what her logo looks like, so you can go find her video. I'll put the link in the description below. I want you to please go like her video. I'm not trying to take away from her video, but her video is Knit Studio, how to make a bunny from a square. And I thought, I want to see what it looks like in crochet. So that's what we're doing today. Woo, yay. So just in time for spring, I've had these little bunnies. Here's a little white bunny made out of a square. And here's a green bunny made out of a square. But anyway, I was having fun with it. So the point is, you take a square, and I thought, well, if she can do it in knit, why can't I do it in crochet? So I made this square in front loop only single crochet, and I'm almost done, but I wanted to show you that in order to make sure that it's a perfect square, make sure you do corner to corner here, and you can see that there's a gap. So when I make a perfect mitered corner over here, you can see that there's some left, which means it's not quite a perfect square. I need to finish a row or two before it will be a perfect square so that my bunny will turn out symmetrically. So for this pattern, you'll need a hook and some yarn. And as I started to experiment, I realized that if she was doing her bunnies out of garter knit stitch, which is perfectly acceptable, one of the ways I could do it in crochet would be to crochet it in Tunisian purl stitch. So this here that I'm working on now is traditional front loop only single crochet. And while I'm doing that, I want to explain that this one is Tunisian purl stitch. Every row is purl stitch, Tunisian purl, so cute. And I'll put a link to that video here and probably at the end of this video also if you want to learn how to do the Tunisian purl stitch. So pretty, and gives a very similar look to Tunisian garter, or I'm sorry, knit garter stitch. So to make our perfect square, we probably need one or two more. I just finished one while I was talking, and another one here. Because I believe that crochet is a valuable, relaxing and valuable use of our time. And what better way to start your exploration into amigurumi than to start out with a plain old square. I thought her idea was brilliant. I don't know where she came up with it. If it's all hers, I'm not stealing it. It's not my idea. But I wanted to make it accessible for crocheters and experiment a little bit and make sure that we could do it in Tunisian crochet as well as traditional crochet. And then I want to explain the green bunny too, because that's a little bit different. So I'm going to finish this row. I'm doing single crochet in the front loop only because I want the fabric to have very nice flexibility and drape, which is why I'm choosing the front loop only. See here, front loop only, instead of both loops. You totally can do both loops if you want. You can do the back loop if you want, but that'll make it more of a ribbed looking fabric, like the edging of the cuff of a knit sweater, for example, a ribbing. So as I finish the front loops only, and I like to do both loops of the first and last stitch, I'm going to go ahead and fasten off. Where'd my scissors go? There they are. Fasten off my square. So once we have a square, what we will do is follow her instructions on Knit Studio, and we will fold the fabric square in half, and with a tapestry needle and a contrasting color, you can do the same color, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use a contrasting color. I'm going to just kind of baste loosely at the halfway mark. Okay, so we're just basting right across the halfway mark of our square. I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail here, not too much is needed. So following her instructions when she used the garter knit stitch for her square, and I did single crochet for my square. Okay, basted, okay, it's not quite, I made a little crooked, it's all right. Okay, and then we're going to split the difference this way and mark the top center point. Give that a little pinch. That's where our target is going to be. I'm going to baste stitches up to there and then baste stitches down to here and leave a little bit of a tail over here so that both of our tails are on the same side. So I am going to just loosely baste a line, okay, up here to the center middle. And you can make it as perfect as you want or as imperfect as you want. This is the method that we're doing, but you could totally, you know, use a ruler if you wanted, or you could, you know, fold it down this way so that it made a nice line, and you could baste it right here on the edge so that it's, I don't know, more accurate. If you're into geometry and that kind of thing makes you happy, that's okay, but it doesn't really matter. You can even do this, like I said, in the same color of yarn so that you don't even see it as much. But I wanted you to see what I'm doing. So I folded it in half, made the line in half, and then made our little triangle. Now, these pink things I'll explain in just a moment. So once we have this marked up, I'm going to take some fuzz, courtesy of Hobie, destroying some of his pet toys. Take some of this out, put a little ball of stuffing here, not too much. It's kind of like, you know, a, what do you call it? The dumpling. It's like a dumpling. You don't want to have too much filling where it all squishes out, but you want to have it sealed like a ravioli. Okay, now pull your ends and push your filling in and draw it like a drawstring bag so that it's nice and tight. And then these are the ears, friends. So when you pull it nice and tight like a drawstring, you can tie it if you want to keep it nice and tight. And then you flip it over and there's your bunny head and here's your ears. Look how cool is that? And then these things here were mostly because I had a flaw in the yarn that made a dark spot. And I thought, what would happen if I kind of made some marks here with different colored yarn? I wonder if there's a way I could tapestry crochet eyes. Okay, so let's get finished with the bunny first. Okay, so we've got these little ears, so cute. And then what we would do here is fill up the body with more stuffing. And I want to show you like what I did with the green one too. Fill up the body with stuffing, and then with another piece of yarn, let's pick some pink this time, with another piece of yarn, of course you could still use the white or the main color. I started thinking, well, how cute would this be if you used like a tweed yarn or a yarn with some boucle yarn or yarn with some texture to it, or if you used a yarn that had color variations, or how cute would it be if it was a variegated yarn? So I'm just going to whip stitch this quickly. You can tighten it up as much as you want, seam it up so that it doesn't come undone, but you would seam along here, the back side of the bunny, and then you would move this out of the way. So you would seam it up tighter than this, but you would seam it up like this. And then I liked making another basting running stitch all the way around the bottom. I don't remember how she did it, but I wanted to do it this way because I wanted to draw it tight like a drawstring bag. Okay, so baste it all the way around like a running stitch all along the bottom, and then pull it tight, drawing it tight. And then you could put a little fluffy pom-tail, what do you call them? Pom-pom tail on it. And you've got your little bunny. Yay. So this is the bunny with the single crochet through the front loops only. And here's his ears. And then here's the one that's the Tunisian purl stitch. So cute. So these would make great little spring gifts, maybe Easter basket gifts. And then I started thinking, if I was going to do variegated yarn or like tweedy yarn, maybe I could make it in a different stitch. So this is actually in a shell stitch. And I thought, how cute is that to make it more bunny-like? And then the shell edge, the top of the square, is scalloped like the top edge of a of the pattern. So look how cute. Now I want to take this apart so you can see, well, do I need to take it apart? It's just a big square made, and it's kind of a big square, like a 8" by 8" square. But I was thinking, if I play around with the square before I make it, like changing the texture, changing the color variation with the tweed, what if I had the square and I tapestry crocheted it? So what I would do now, if I was going to go that next route, I think I would undo it. I might even, if I'm designing, I might even take new yarn and mark up where the eyes and stuff I would want them to be. So there's a little bit of a flaw in this yarn. I don't know why. I think maybe my cat got a hold of it or the dog. But I have been using the Knit Picks Brava yarn here for this. So what I would do then is I would grab my yarn and my yarn needle, and you can decide for yourself like what kind of eyes. I'm not very good of an artist in this way, and so I thought one of the ways to cheat would be to make the stitches themselves the eyes. So for example, if I marked the eyes right here, like where I wanted them to be, and I would go under here, I guess, and pop the other eye over here. If I marked where I wanted the eyes to be, and then I undid the square and folded it flat again, and then rewrote the pattern so that I made tapestry stitches for the eyes. And if I did that, I think I would make like a group of stitches. I would make like 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches of single crochet in another color. So then I would pop this back into the head, and so you wouldn't see it, but I would mark it so that I knew how to write the pattern. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So if I made the eyes here and say I went under here and made a little nose, but I'm terrible at this part. So I thought, I wonder if there's a way to cheat. I wondered if there's a way to cheat. If I could then crochet a square and put in cluster stitches, for example, in the spots. Okay, so say that I marked where the placement of the eyes and nose would be, and I could even mark the placement of like, if I were to make the inside of ears, I probably would do it like, probably would want to make a little oval, and so the stitches would be like here. So if I were designing this for myself and I wanted some features on my bunny and I wanted to cheat because I'm not really good at embroidery, I would do this. Okay, so I would kind of mark, and I'm going to kind of mark this as the front. Okay, this is the front of the bunny where my tail is coming out so that I know. Okay, then I'm going to undo my bunny. I'm going to undo my bunny. Unbind you, honey. I'm going to undo my bunny, and then I would rewrite the pattern to indicate, I'm going to take out this knot, to indicate where the facial feature stitches should go when I remake my square, but change color. Okay, undo my bunny, but change color in those spots. Okay, so here's where the stuffing would go. But I would then change color, and my stuffing is caught, it's okay. Okay, so what I would do then is I would rewrite my pattern, and if this was, say, 33 stitches across, I would do this many rows of 33 stitches of the main color. Then I would write my pattern so that I would change color here, whether it be Tunisian crochet or single crochet in front loop only, so that I would put one big pink puff stitch in space here. And then I would do a row of white, and then when I get to this part, I would count this many stitches across, and I would do a big puff stitch or a popcorn stitch in pink, and then one white stitch, and then a popcorn stitch in pink, and then white. So I would work the stitches into the fabric tapestry style, and then I wouldn't have to embroider them on after the fact and hope it doesn't look stupid. Any way that I can cheat. And then white, 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 white until I got to the ears. I would mark both ears on the bunny, and then I would write it down that here I would want to do a cluster of like a puff stitch and then a puff stitch on the 2 puff stitches on the next row, so that I approximated that shape with 1 and then 2 and then 2 and then 1, I don't know, up there. And then when I pulled it all like a drawstring bag back together again, hopefully these pieces, these colored stitches would all magically happen in the right spot. Anyway, please give this a try and see what you think. Also, please go look at Knit Studio, or Studio Knits rather, Studio Knits. I'll put the link in the description below. Please go watch her video and like it and enjoy it. And if you make a bunny, please let me know. You can tag me on Instagram at @TheEllenGormley with your bunny, with your crocheted bunny from a square. Or you can send me your bunnies on my Facebook page at Go Crochet on Facebook. And that link is also in the description below.